So comparing and competing is a dangerous thing to do. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in this beautiful world. I am Monique Carroll, and this is my first video on YouTube. I am excited to do a video. I usually do mostly shorts, but today I wanted to discuss comparing and competing with one another. I used to compare and compete with others who I don't even know, right? And then I used to compare and with those who I do know for what they are doing and what I am not doing. I used to always get in my feelings and get so emotional regarding why am I in this position and why they're in their position. So I'm sure I'm not the only one as a believer that goes through that. And I had noticed to take more of being humbled and in my heart and not trying to be proudful in my heart, because I used to have to fight pride. As to today, to be honest, we've been honest with each other. This is like a one-on-one. So as to today, I be a little held up on pride because I'm like, well, I'm embarrassed for this, right? I'm embarrassed I go through this. So I'm embarrassed in that other things I don't do that other people are doing. And I'm sitting here like, why do I feel like this? Why am I like this? And I shouldn't be. God has you in a position, in a place that you need to be right now. There are multiple reasons why we are in these positions, but it's up to us to seek God for counsel and wisdom regarding our purpose, regarding the place that we're in, the position that we're in, and what we need to do as a believer to trust in Him more regarding it. So comparing and competing is a dangerous thing to do. Galatians chapter 6 verse 4 and 5 discuss basically, to sum it up, taking care of yourself, worrying about your own self, carrying your own load. You already have enough going on with yourself, and you already, comparing, trying to compete with everybody else. We should have grace, okay? God gives us mercy and grace and forgiving us of what we have done. Why are we sitting here feeling like that? So I thought about it, and I'm like, I shouldn't be sitting here grieving my own stuff, comparing myself to other people when they're probably a reason why I'm like this, right? What God has for me is for me, and nobody can take it away, and nobody can have it because it's specifically for me, right? It's meant for my purpose, for the provision and the plan that He has for me. So I had read with Pastor Flowers, such an amazing pastor. I go on his online church in Houston, and it's Redefined Church. And I noticed I was on his page, and he had in his caption regarding be careful of comparing yourself to a pastor. Okay. And he was saying that don't be jealous of somebody else's grace. And he was saying don't be jealous of him as a pastor's grace, because pastors go through worse than what we are as believers go through, because God uses them to spread the word in the ministry and be head of the church, like Christ is head of us as we are believers of the church. So the pastor is going to go through a lot, right? So they go through that to teach us the things. They experience things for themselves, and they go through all these hardships to teach God's message. And he was like, don't be jealous of His grace. So I'm here today to say, don't be jealous of somebody else's grace. You don't know what they went through to get to where they are. You don't know what's going on behind the closed doors or what they have going on to get to what they have. And I learned to be content. Philippians 4, I believe verse 12 through 13 is talking about being content, whether you have plenty or whether you have few, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, and all those things. And that's important. Be satisfied and content with what you have now. So when God do eventually, if it's in His will to bless you with more, you'll be able to be prepared for more. You'll be able to, He may be equipping you for more. So we shouldn't compare and compete with other people just because they're ahead of us, just because they had a car and a house and a career, and maybe some of us are still sitting here on disability, sitting here on government have food stamps and all of those things, and getting transportation rides as an Uber and medical rides to the doctor and stuff. You seeing everybody having chauffeurs. You seeing everybody having their own car. You seeing everybody have multiple cars and these big houses, and it's like, oh, that must be nice. I wouldn't mind traveling. I wouldn't mind having a big house. I wouldn't mind having all these cars. I wouldn't mind having a chauffeur. And I'm over here thinking like, you can't take on everybody else's stuff or what they have going on. That don't have nothing to do with me. So why am I comparing? Why am I trying to compete? That has nothing to do with me. I am in the race of my own, trying to get the glory from God, right? Trying to get God the glory. Trying to walk where I need to walk on that righteous path to set my life right. You know, I can't be jealous or envious of somebody else's stuff. Because once that come about, then you're losing your focus on God. And then you're not worrying about yourself no more, you're worrying about everybody else. And then you're trying to compete with the Joneses, and now you stuck more than where you was when you was competing with somebody else. And we should not do that. We should love ourselves, hug ourselves, be responsible for our own things and ourselves, making sure we walking with God and being righteous and increasing in the faith and trust in His plan where we are right now. Take accountability. At the end of the day, we are judged for what we, ourselves, I, we, us, as individuals, will be judged at the end of the day of every single thing. So we worry about ourselves being, for God to set us up right, for God to continue to cover us and lift us, and all the burdens that we have, He'll lift them up and He'll carry them for us. We're not doing this alone. God is on our side. So we go to God, we seek Him for wisdom, we seek Him for counsel, and we start learning to focus on ourselves. We start learning to be content and satisfied for what we have and what's going on. Yes, it may not be as good as it seems to us right now, because we in that perspective of, oh, they have everything and I don't. Oh, they wicked, and why they have all this wealth and good health, and I'm righteous and I'm having bad health. I'm righteous, I'm poor. I'm righteous, I don't have a car. I'm righteous, I have to lean on everybody else. I'm righteous, I don't have too much money. But we have to think that the wickedness, they get by, but they don't get away. God has a plan for everything, whether you're wicked or righteous. Yes, He loves everyone when He hates sin. Yes, He reigns on the just as the unjust. But just as the just will get have their ways and the actions, everything recorded daily, the wicked does. And just as when the judgment comes, we take accountability for ourselves, because you know how that goes. The righteous up there, the judge, the wickedness down there. And it's up to us to choose what. Are we comparing and competing and jealous of somebody else's grace just to lose our focus and relationship with God? Or are we going to take that to God, to take that feeling and emotions away from us and be satisfied and content to what we have now? So it's always up to us with what we're going to choose. I still had to learn. I am still learning to take that grace and be graceful and thankful for what I have and what I have overcome and still overcoming at the end of the day, because it's important to take care of ourselves. It's important to worry about ourselves. We will get there when God wants us to get there. But we take it up to Him, we seek Him, we continue to pray, we continue to thank Him daily for who we are and what we have. Until next time, see you later.